property is suitable for that. You know, I was there again this morning taking a look at it, and you look to the property that's just to the west of it, which is another commercial property, and you know, you sort of compare the driveway. It's much larger, there's a much bigger parking lot, it's a much easier way in and out of it, and you know, if it was that one we were looking at, I'd have no issue. But again, I really struggle with how logistically this is going to work if they really truly want to have 35 kids that are being dropped off in a 90-minute window, and they're going to try and structure it. Again, businesses respond to their customers' needs, not the other way around. And so I do see them dropping their kids off prior to going to work or trying to catch the GO station, and you know, they're only going to be able to take in 6 cars at a time, drop that off, and then have the next load. This morning when I was there, I mean, most of the school buses run up Center Street, so I just think that what we're going to have is a situation where we see around town park area and things where all of a sudden residents are calling us and saying, so-and-so's parking in front of my place all the time, or they may end up using the parking lot just to the west of the GO tracks that is used for Baldwin's and the other commercial buildings there, and that's private property and they really shouldn't be using it. And again, it comes back to us where then we're being asked to enforce these issues. And while it may be registered on title, I just can't fathom how we're able to enforce it. Somebody's going to spend whatever they're going to spend, $100,000, $200,000 more to renovate and outfit the place, and then we're going to go and say, you know, this isn't working the way you said it is. What options are available to us? And so, you know, I'm fully supportive of them using it for office and professional uses, but I really struggle that I think that it's going to create an issue down the road for us to deal with by having a nursery there. And so unless I see more details about how they're going to practically manage that, I can't support it. So through you to our clerk, is it possible to split the motion with regards to the uses and vote on the daycare separately than the business and professional offices?
Madam Clerk. The answer is yes.
Yes, I believe that through you, Mr. Mayor, you can split the uses, but whether or not how that fits within the zoning, I would refer that to the Director of Planning.
Mr. Little.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, the existing property has an M1 zoning. Daycares are not permitted. The request is to allow for a permitted daycare, but also professional offices for the proposed addition to the back of the building. A number of years ago, the site, the applicant submitted a minor variance to permit the existing building to be used for professional offices. So if the council wants to split it, and if the addition proceeds, the professional office use would be required to be added for any future addition as proposed building addition to the rear of the building. So my suggestion would be really to amend clause number 2 that if I'm reading the council right, that the zoning bylaw amendment application be approved to permit strike out day nursery and just to permit the business and professional offices use. Again, it's currently permitted in the existing building, but the application is also, they're also proposing to add an addition, remove the small addition to the rear and add 1,000 square foot addition to the rear, and a professional office is currently not permitted for that future addition.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. At this point, I don't know how the others on council feel with regards to the nursery, so I'll wait before I put any amendment forward.
Any, before I've got Councillor April for the second time. Councillor Kim for the first.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know, I want to move this forward because, you know, anyone who has that entrepreneurial spirit, I would always be encouraging of it. And as Councillor Thompson said, you know, it's certainly the proximity to the GO train makes an ideal location. for myself personally, from my experience, I always found it that having a daycare closer to home better, because to avoid that traffic myself. But even if if everything works out the way Director Ramuno states, it's just that with a 33-foot wide lot, I don't see how traffic going in and out can be smooth during those busy times. And even if they're able to do that, these cars are still going to have to go in and out of Center Street and stopping the flow of traffic. And I see, my gut tells me that this is going to create issues for others in the neighborhood, and certainly it's going to put certainly pressures on our bylaw officers. In a time where there's more bylaw officers are going to be needed, we're willing to add to that pressure. So I would be for Councillor Thompson's recommendation to split this as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kim. Councillor Humphries.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to support the recommendation. Staff has already done a review. They made accommodations to have pickup and drop off. There's a challenge for parking for staff. I'm going to leave it to the business to figure it out. If they get tagged every day, then they get tagged every day, and they will get towed. Their cars will get towed. They're making a business decision. And I really think this isn't not about a business. We're not here to talk about their business. They're made accommodations for parking to get their children dropped off. Staff is recommending it. I'm not going to say I know anything about traffic because I don't. That's why I'm going to be putting a traffic advisory board amendment forward, a motion forward in the next couple of weeks. So I think we just leave this to staff, and I wish all the best to the business. And when if it succeeds, wonderful. If they have the challenge with traffic and it's impacting the business, they're going to have to change their business and move or whatever they need to do. But at this point, I don't want to deter a business plan for traffic concerns on my part. If you go to any schools in any part of Aurora, there's traffic problems. Go to Williams. Don't try to go down Dunning Avenue between 7:45 and 8:30. Just forget it. And that's where we have the Tim Hortons. That's where there's so many problems like this that adding one more to me isn't making a huge difference, to be honest with you. It's just, it's going to be busy in the morning, it's going to be busy in the afternoon, and dead quiet throughout the day. So not a big deal for me.
Councillor Gardner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And we don't have enough childcare spaces, and certainly this is a great location. But when I was reading this report, and I didn't have this feeling last time, but I had this feeling of a safety issue, and it scares me, and I just can't support it.
Thank you, Councillor Gardner. I got Councillor Abel for the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just wondering if we do not allow, can they appeal to the OMB?
Mr. Miller?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, yes, the applicant would be within the rights to appeal the
And
zoning
said-
bylaw.
And so then the comments from here would be included, and one of them would be that some councillors didn't like the business plan. I frequently cut down Center, and anyone that lives in Valhalla and on Welton goes to the coast station know that there's traffic issues there. We all know certain areas. I know when I'm going up Industrial and Maximilian is it's just a zoo. You can't get a Tim Hortons because all the cars are going in. So you learn, I'm not going to come to the town hall or go to the gym. And when I come to council at rush hour, I know not to, I've got the time now for the GO station when the things go down. We have so many businesses along Wellington that park on Wellington. It just boggles my mind, but we allow parking on Wellington on the north side during rush hour. And some of the businesses, if you look at them, like I have, and I've walked the area a few times when we did the Southeast Heritage and went in and talked, they're very busy. 15 staff, And when they came to council, they allowed 3 parking spaces and 1 for visitors. Everyone's parking on Wells, Larmont, and the flow is there. So everyone finds a way to get things done. If I'm picking up my kids and I can't get in and out, I either go to another place or I time it so it's different. And that's how we move in a busy urban landscape. I can't refuse someone because I'm not satisfied with their business plan. They'll figure it out. And that's why, again, I share some of those at the table. Let them. And if it's a service, if it's busy and people can handle it, and all the traffic that's going along there, we won't have to hire new bylaws. If that was the case, we should have hired new bylaws 10 years ago. We do have an issue there with GO stations and parking, and I'm sure they're well aware of it, but still, business goes on. We have a Mr. Lube that empties out there. We have Baldwin's that's very, very busy. We have GO commuters safety that time it so when the arms are down and the cars are stacked there, they run across knowing that they can. I mean, that's a safety issue, huge safety issue, that everyone goes about their business and works it. So I can't do anything but wish them luck. I think us interfering in their business plan and disapproving this based on their opinion without any stats is going to send us down to an OMB where we're doomed to fail. So I think we're trying to attract businesses, supporting businesses that help our commuters. And so those are my comments going forward. I'm like some here at the table, I'm in full support and wishing them best of luck.
Thank you, Councillor. Excuse me. Other speakers to the motion, please. Councillor Thompson.
Just to be clear, it's not about their business plan, it's the impact to the street and the area around it. No different than many applications that we deal with at planning. You will get a report that says traffic's all fine, but yet, members around this table will maybe disagree or not see it that way. And, especially with some infill developments, I know that reports have been submitted about traffic and technically they're fine, but yet, members of council will speak out and say, well, they don't agree with it. They don't agree with how those traffic reports may indicate that it won't be a imposition to the neighborhood. Listen, I wish them well, but I do think that we'll hear about this again from those in the area.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other speakers to the item, please? Mr. Excuse me, Mr. Ramuno. One question, the width of the driveway that's going into the parking area at the rear. Can 2 cars pass?
To you, Mr. Mayor, the width of the driveway is about just under 3.9 meters. So it's not a 2-lane width. I've had discussions with our traffic analyst, so it'd be one way, and I think the discussions they've had with the applicant's traffic analyst is that there would be, and that's part of their information package, and to parents, and proper signage would be provided on site to yield to oncoming passenger cars onto the site. So no, it is a single lane.
Councillors, please.
Yeah, so it is a single lane, 4 meters.
Mr. Ramuno, if traffic did become a major issue, what recourse do we have? It's, a number of people, well, I think everybody's spoken to it, so true. What recourse would we have as a council?
Again, if council approves the rezoning and the site plan as is, we would have conditions on the site plan application. If we do continue to get, obviously complaints that there's queuing on the road, we would have the ability to have that discussion with the applicants, because there is a site plan agreement. They are obligated to comply with the site plan agreement. Again, having said that, it's really an enforcement matter, and based on our experience and our traffic analyst, most daycares and private schools, we are experiencing those challenges during the morning and afternoon periods pickup and drop-off, where there is queuing that's happening. I'm not going to say that it's not going to happen in this situation, because the advice I've got from our traffic engineer is that he's satisfied that the volumes currently on Center Street are, again, not exceeding the recommended high levels. But again, we could have those conditions imposed in the agreement as well, and ensure that the applicant does implement those traffic management measures on site with the future parents and the staff on site.
Thank you, sir. Any other speakers to the motion then, please? And I'll call the vote. All in favor of the motion on the floor? Contrary? That passes. Councillor?
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, so that you're voting for it?
I'm sorry?
I didn't, so it was 3-3. Are you voting for it?
Yes,
Thank you.
that passes. Thank you. That concludes the items for this evening. Confirming bylaw, please, councillors. Councillor Fury, thank you. Councillor Abel. All in favor? Contrary? That's carried. Motion to adjourn, please. Councillors Gardner and Thompson, all in favor? Contrary? That is carried. Thank you very much.